This nearly broke the NBA. The Golden State Warriors came shockingly close to trading Draymond Green in a deal that fans are calling unbelievable. Imagine Draymond in a different jersey because it almost happened. Talks were hot, names were flying, and the package they were offered? Absolutely wild. Derek Lively, Tim Hardaway Jr. and a first-round pick were on the table. And that's not all. Other teams like the Suns even got involved. Why did the Warriors back out? What stopped this insane trade from going down? Stay tuned, because this twist changes everything you thought you knew about Golden State. Before we dive into this absolutely jaw-dropping report, don't forget to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. This channel is your go-to source for the most shocking and in-depth NBA stories, with a laser focus on your Golden State Warriors. Let's build the most powerful basketball community right here together. Now let's get into this madness. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Because what I'm about to reveal nearly flipped the Golden State Warriors' entire identity upside down. This isn't just some minor trade rumor. This isn't about bench players or rotational guys. This involves the very soul of the Warriors. We're talking about Draymond Green, the heart, the voice, the enforcer, the guy who's been side by side with Steph Curry through every peak and valley since this dynasty was born. Reports from inside the Warriors' front office have now confirmed what fans never expected. The Golden State Warriors were just one signature away, one final push from trading Draymond Green in what would have been a blockbuster move with ripple effects throughout the entire NBA. Now pause. Just let that sit with you for a second. Draymond Green. Nearly traded. From the Warriors. That alone would be enough to send the NBA world into shock. But the details of the proposed deal? They're absolutely wild. According to multiple sources, including the highly reputable BasketNews.com and SI.com, the Warriors internally held serious discussions about shipping Green to the Dallas Mavericks. And the return package? This is where things get really interesting. The deal would have brought Derek Lively too, the young, high-potential big man, to Golden State. Along with him, Tim Hardaway Jr., a seasoned shooter with playoff experience and the ability to space the floor. And on top of that, the Warriors would have secured a lightly protected first-round pick. That's a pretty significant haul for a 34-year-old Draymond Green, at least on paper. But here's the problem: that deal wasn't just controversial. It was polarizing. Because while Warriors fans were asking, wait, how do we replace Draymond's defense? His leadership? His intensity? Mavericks fans were saying, why are we giving up a young rising star, a solid scorer, and a first-rounder for Draymond Green? It was a rare situation where both fanbases raised eyebrows. And the Mavericks? They reportedly didn't bite. As good as Draymond is, the idea of giving up Lively, who has shown signs of becoming an elite rim protector and lob threat, made Dallas hesitant. Add a first-rounder on top of that? That's a lot of value to surrender for a veteran forward, even one with championship pedigree. Still, that wasn't the end of it. No, because while Dallas was considering the package, another team suddenly entered the chat ready to flip the NBA upside down. The Phoenix Suns. Yes, the very same Suns who've spent the last 2 seasons building a firepower-heavy super team with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal reportedly expressed interest in acquiring Draymond Green. And here's the kicker: they floated the possibility of a swap that could involve Kevin Durant himself. Stop everything. The idea that Durant, a 2-time Finals MVP and former Warrior, could return to Golden State, with Draymond Green being the key piece heading out? That's enough to break the internet. We all remember the tension between KD and Draymond. That infamous sideline argument. The passive-aggressive interviews. The reports that their rift helped push Durant to leave for Brooklyn in the first place. To think that these two players would be part of a deal that brings it all full circle. It's the kind of plot twist that sounds like a Hollywood script. And yet, this wasn't just fantasy. It was real. There were legitimate conversations happening behind closed doors between Phoenix and Golden State, testing the waters for what could have been one of the most dramatic reunions or betrayals in NBA history. Now, before we go any further, let's not forget Draymond Green is not just another player. He is the defensive heartbeat of the Warriors. He's a four-time NBA champion, a former Defensive Player of the Year, and one of the most intelligent and, let's be honest, volatile players the league has ever seen. Trading him doesn't just change your roster. It changes your soul. So despite the serious talks, the Warriors ultimately hit the brakes. They took a deep breath, stepped back, and said, "Wait, do we really want to do this? Do we want to break up the core that has brought us 4 championships?" And that's when the decision was made. The Warriors chose loyalty. They chose chemistry. They chose to ride with Draymond Green warts and all into the future. But this is where the story gets even more dramatic. Because right when fans were recovering from the shock of the near Draymond trade boom, Golden State did make a major move. And not just any move. They acquired Jimmy Butler. Yup. You heard that right. Jimmy. Freakin' buckets. One of the most intense competitors in the NBA. A defensive monster. A playoff killer. A man whose work ethic has become legendary and whose leadership is admired league-wide. Butler, the guy who's gone toe-to-toe with superstars, taken undermanned teams to the finals, and never backed down from a challenge. He's now rocking a Golden State jersey. And the result? Since Jimmy Butler's arrival, the Warriors have gone 5-1. That's not a coincidence. That's the impact of a player who fits the system, enhances the culture, and brings a fire that complements Steph, Draymond, and Klay in a way we haven't seen since KD was in town. Just picture this lineup: Steph Curry running the offense with surgical precision, Klay Thompson spacing the floor like only he can, Jimmy Butler locking down the opposition's best wing, Draymond Green orchestrating the defense, and a young center rotating in to protect the rim. That's a lineup built for war. That's a team no one wants to face in a 7-game series. And that's why the Warriors, despite all the speculation, might have just made the right call. Because what this story really shows us is how delicate and complex NBA team building truly is. It's not a video game. It's not just plug and play with stats. You've got locker room chemistry to consider, leadership dynamics, player egos, franchise legacy, salary cap management, and of course, the timeline of your star. Steph Curry is 37 years old. The window for another championship? It's still open, but just barely. One wrong move and it's over. But one right move, one perfectly